Hello and welcome back to some more F1 2020 and part 46 of our Jordan GP career mode. I'm Joe. If you're new around here, make sure you click that subscribe button for weekly Formula 1 content. Today we've got the Bahrain Grand Prix, second race of the season. And looking at the R&D tree, we are doing fantastic compared to Mercedes. The first race of the season didn't go to plan for us, but Lando Norris won it. He got the fastest lap as well, so a perfect start of the season for him. And he's showing that we're going to be under big pressure. Of course, we had the calamity at the pit stops that didn't really help. But we've been fast in practice this weekend so far, topping FP1. So I'm really hoping that we can continue that today in qualifying. Make sure you hit the like button down below and subscribe if you haven't already to help that algorithm out. And find other people just like yourself that might enjoy the content. Here we go for qualifying. It's not been the cleanest lap in the world, but here we are coming up to the line. Our first hot lap of the weekend. What's it going to be? It's a 1:25.7, which puts us second fastest at the moment, and I think that should be very comfortably through to Q2. But yeah, not a bad start to the weekend. Shoving it up into P2. Hopefully we can continue with this form throughout the qualifying session. Well, there you go. Easily through to Q2 in 6th position. Lando Norris looking absolutely rapid so far, and the Mercedes, nothing can separate them. Well, here we come up to the line. We're trying to get through on the medium tyres in Q2. Doesn't look like that's going to be possible. A 1:27.1.
There's only one
That's
lap
bottom of
of
the
fuel
pile
remaining.
so far. That's very, very frustrating. We will try and improve on that lap on our second run here, but I mean, we're already 3/10 up through the first sector, so a little mistake in that first sector that we made, which you guys didn't see, but that's possibly cost us a place in Q3 on these tyres, which is a big pity. Well, we've been stuck behind Nick de Vries the whole of this lap on these soft tyres. We come up to the line, and it's not good enough. But we do have a second lap here.
That's moved us up into P13.
Well, we've got to go now. Push really, really hard to make this work. We've already made half a second. This is how much Nick de Vries held us up, and it's going to give us a strategical difficulty in the race, because we'll have tyres that have been used for 2 laps rather than just the one. But we just got to do it. We've got to go for it, otherwise we're going to be out in Q2. And we're very lucky that we made it over the line in the very last second. These tyres are not going to be at their best, but we're already half a second up on where we were this time last lap. We've run a little bit wide there. That's going to cost us massively. We're 0.2 of a second up on Lance Stroll in 12th place. Is it going to be good enough though?
2 minutes remaining in the session. We need a good lap here, or we're out of qualifying.
That's a good exit round the final corner, and we come up to the line 7/10 up. What's it going to be? It's a 1:25.2, and that should be enough to get through. Whew, it is good enough. Second place, wow. That was very, very close to being a disaster there, but Lando Norris, he's out! Lando Norris is out. He tried to get through on the medium tyres. Look how close it was. The top 14 separated by 0.6 of a second. Lando Norris out in Q2. Kevin Magnussen out as well. He was a contender for pole position today. Wow, that is a big, big shock And look how close it all is. I mean, we were very, very fortunate there. A little lock-up or anything like that, and we were out in Q2 along with our teammate there. Vettel's out as well. Unbelievable how close it is. The top 16 within a second. Let's see if we can go and grab a pole position. Well, coming up to the final corner for our first run at pole position. Lewis Hamilton is currently quickest. We're coming up to the line now. What's it going to be? It's a 1:25.0, which is pole position for now. 2 tenths quicker than Lewis Hamilton. Pierre Gasly has gone second as it stands in that AlphaTauri. Hamilton third, Perez fourth, Verstappen fifth. 5 different teams in the top 5 currently. What a lap from Pierre Gasly that was. And Carlos Sainz has just took pole position in the Red Bull. 27.3 first sector. We are slightly quicker than that. Bottas has just gone quickest as well. So it's all change here. But we're currently 3rd place. And we'd certainly settle for that after last time. Well, here we come up to the line. Looks like we're just about going to make it for one final run. So here we go. This is our potential pole position lap. But we managed to weave our way through. It's going to be a slower first sector by about a 10th. Well, here we come up to the line. Don't think it's going to be any improvement. Pretty much the same time. We did have a personal best final sector, but we do finish 5th in the end, which is disappointing because I do feel like we had the pace today to take pole position, but bit of traffic coming out at the wrong time at the end there.
Let's review our top 3 today.
It's just ruined our day there.
And Lewis Hamilton. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
So there we have it then. Bottas takes pole position, Sainz 2nd, Hamilton 3rd, Verstappen 4th, we finish 5th, Ricciardo 6th, Gasly 7th, Perez 8th, Ocon 9th, and Charles Leclerc rounds out the top 10. Let's see what's in store for this Bahrain Grand Prix.
The stage is set for another enthralling race here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. A Ferrari stronghold in years gone by, but will they be able to add to their record today? We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. Now, Anthony Davidson, I wonder, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams, all trying to put some pressure on or disrupting things for the leaders up front?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you know, you got your own race to run, I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running 2nd and 3rd, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position. A very happy Carlos Sainz will start 2nd. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, the captain, and Ricciardo, Gasly, Perez, Ocon, and Charles Leclerc, Kvyat, Norris, Lance Stroll, and Magnussen, De Vries, Vettel, George Russell, and Alexander Albon, Latifi, Grosjean, Giovinazzi, and Mick Schumacher. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
So here we are then, ready for the Grand Prix. Looking forward to this. It should be an absolute cracker. We'll stick an extra lap and a half worth of fuel in there. We are going to come in on lap 5 to get onto the medium tyres. Not the best starting position, but hey, a lot better than starting in 8th like we did last time out. So hopefully we will see an improvement today.
Clutch bite is good, gearbox is responding normally. Make sure to warm up the tyres and brakes. Warm the tyres and brakes throughout the lap.
Hopefully we can have a nice clean out lap. Obviously we've got slightly more worn tyres than the guys in front, and potentially we might come in for an undercut. It all depends on the start really, and how we get on. So just going through our motions here. It's going to be a very tough first lap. We want to avoid any sort of damage. Wow, we nearly went into the back of Verstappen there. We are okay though. Did he touch the back of us there? I'm not sure. Or was that just... must have just been some
No
wheel
rain
spin.
expected. No rain expected for the time being.
But trying to get these absolutely spot on. We're going to change that to no rather than auto, so that even if we do pick up a little bit of damage on the front wing, we can make sure that we're not going to be compromised. Whoa, onto the gravel. That's not great. It's not what we needed for the tyres, let's be honest. But they've went through the heat cycle now, and we're coming around this final corner as we line up for our grid spot. We've got Valtteri Bottas starting on pole today, with Carlos Sainz in second. Lewis Hamilton starts third for Mercedes, with Verstappen in fourth. We're in fifth. Daniel Ricciardo, the Aussie, in sixth. Gasly seventh, and then we've got the two McLarens behind. The McLaren of Sergio Perez starting in eighth, and then we've got Ocon ninth
The
and
rest of the grid is forming up. Be
Charles
patient
Leclerc
and
in
watch for the
10th.
lights.
Watch out for Vettel, Magnussen and Norris, who will be coming from a little bit further back today, but they could certainly have a say on who wins this Grand Prix. So here we are, ready for the lights. Lights out, away we go here in Bahrain. It's a decent start off the grid for us. Hamilton and Sainz off the grid well as well. Look at that from Daniel Ricciardo, the Australian, diving down the inside, but we're keeping it nice and clean around the outside. We've got the inside line of Verstappen there, and we go down the inside. So we're up to an excellent fourth place at the start of this Grand Prix. Bottas was away very, very well, and looks like he's already got out potentially of the 1 second range of Carlos Sainz. Bottas harbouring his inner Sebastian Vettel from Red Bull days there, just racing off into the distance, but we are trying to stay in contact with Hamilton and Sainz and see if we can get up into second position. Verstappen is keeping us honest though as we come into the very difficult turn 9. We then need to keep our car absolutely planted to the ground here as we head towards turn 10, I believe this is, up here, and just holding it true, and that's beautiful. Sometimes if you hit that curve you can go flying, but we're absolutely fine on this first lap, and Sainz is holding up
That's
Hamilton.
a strong start. Well
And
done.
hopefully we can take advantage of that. The two Renault cars are behind Max Verstappen at the moment, so keep an eye on them and where they finish up today, because they could certainly be in for a good haul of points. Hamilton trying to get out of the dirty air of Carlos Sainz ahead. We put in a purple final sector there, so we were the fastest man on the track in that final sector, which is very good news so far. We're right behind Hamilton here, and I think got to try and use these tyres early on and use this advantage that we've got. If we can get ahead of these two, we could almost guarantee ourselves second. I think we got more pace than these two in front. Well, Verstappen having a look around the outside. That's an unorthodox place to pass. We managed to hold them off. We take a little bit more curve than maybe we should have, but Verstappen now dropping behind Ricciardo, so it worked out well for us. Didn't work out so well for Verstappen, and trying to go around the outside of that corner is just not a good idea. So we managed to keep going here on this second lap. We're just behind Lewis Hamilton. Of course, DRS enabled after this lap. If we can stay within that 1 second window, we could have ourselves a chance here.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Well, we've got yellow flags. I'm not entirely sure what that is.
Okay, clear.
Don't know who the yellow flag was for. We'll soon find out. I've got DRS on Lewis Hamilton, but can't really make the pass up into turn 4, but staying very, very true.
Some information on De Vries. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car.
That's our former teammate Nick De Vries. That has to retire the car this early on, which is a shame for Racing Point.
If you think you can get past, make use of the overtake button and see what you can do.
Well, this should be a really good chance. We're just relying on a good exit here. Unfortunately, that's not the best exit. But we do have DRS and should be able to close in
We're
nicely.
not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target.
Hamilton making a
Drop
move
down to
on
mix
Sainz,
too
so I
soon.
think we just wait back here and try and make the move stick. Hamilton down the inside of Sainz. He's lost a little bit of speed out of there. This has got to be a chance now. Hamilton doesn't have DRS, Sainz does. And we go down the inside of Lewis Hamilton. And we're up into 3rd position now. And Carlos Sainz is all ours. That was an exciting little battle there. But we kept ourselves right in the mix there, just held back, and it was a good little move. Hamilton again having a little look there around the outside. We've got the DRS this time on Carlos Sainz, and of course he doesn't have it up ahead, so all we've got to do really is stay close and we should be able to pass. We have got yellow flags once again, so somebody else must be out of this Grand Prix. I'm not entirely sure who. Max Verstappen. Well, Verstappen's out. Is there going to be any sort of safety car? Don't think so, but I think we should be passing Carlos Sainz here. And it's going to get bad to worse for Red Bull. We've got the DRS, we've got
We're going to box this lap. Push hard.
the ERS on, and look at that. Fly straight past him. And up now into 2nd position. And now we've got to try and chase after Valtteri Bottas in that Mercedes, and he's been pretty rapid. Of course, got pole position and has started off this Grand Prix very, very well indeed. Well, we're coming into the pit lane. That's well slowed down. We're just following the team strategy. It looks like we are going to be the first person in. And it's very important to get ourselves the advantage.
Release.
And we're away in 2.3 seconds. That's very, very good. And it looks like we are going to be out in some clear air. So this is going to be a crucial couple of laps coming up.
Now, we want to finish the race on this compound.
Can we get the undercut on Valtteri Bottas? That's the question. You feel like we should be able to get ahead of Carlos Sainz and Hamilton once again. But now it's all about whether we can get the undercut on Valtteri Bottas. Well, purple final sector. Who's that coming out of the pits? I think that's Hamilton. So we've come out well ahead of Lewis. Now, of course, he's going to have fresher tyres by a lap, but hopefully that 3-second gap that we've pulled out of him
for the mediums. Car behind on the medium tyre.
is going to be enough to stay ahead. Well, there you go, fastest lap. And is that Valtteri Bottas? I think it is. There he is. So he does come out ahead just about, but only 1.4 seconds. So we've got a chance now of maybe catching up to him. Well, another fastest lap. 1.7 seconds the gap now. Gotta say, we're gonna close in, but have we got enough laps? Have we got enough tyres to do it? That's the question. Well, slight mistake there. And that's a shame because it's put us back into Hamilton's clutches now, but probably ended the race in terms of Bottas winning it. I think our tyres are going off a little bit here. But we still, of course, have, you know, enough to get to the end of the race, but Hamilton right behind us now, and he's going to put a load of pressure on us towards the end of this Grand Prix. Well, there goes Hamilton. Once again, we make a little mistake there.
Okay, we lost the position. Try to keep focus.
But we try and get the undercut on him. We've got DRS back. Should be able to overtake him here.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
We absolutely do. So stay in front of Lewis Hamilton. But it's a good little battle this, and we'll stay with it for the remainder of this Grand Prix. Hamilton again coming back at us. He's going to try and go around the outside of turn 4 here. But it's a dummy because he's gone down the inside now. What a move that was from Hamilton. That was a little feint. Broke a lot earlier and went down the inside. Forced us to brake later, and that was a good move from Lewis. But now we're going to have the DRS, of course. We're going to close in on him here. And you would fancy us to repass him on the final lap. Oh, wow. Any more curb there and we would have been spun round. That was very, very close to being the end there. And we come round the final corner. We really need to close in. We've got DRS.
This is your final lap of the race.
Hamilton goes to the inside. We go round the outside, and we're just about through, and we've got DRS as well to try and pull away here. But Hamilton right in our gearbox. But we managed to hold it. So we've had some fantastic racing with the AI today. I think that's fair enough to say. A purple first sector there, but we're certainly not going to be trying to get purples anywhere else. But we did need that. We needed that badly. But Hamilton has got one more chance here through this DRS zone right now. We've got a little bit of ERS to pull ourselves away, and that's exactly what we do. So it's all about spotting our braking points now, making no more mistakes. We've made a couple today, and that's potentially cost us a race victory. Let's not let it cost us second place. Hamilton right behind, should be fine. Should be absolutely fine. So here we come, round the final corner. Valtteri Bottas has won the Bahrain Grand Prix, and with the fastest lap as well. He steals that fastest lap point. We haven't got any ERS and up to the line, but very, very close
Good
there.
job, you did really well.
We ran out of ERS on the final corner, but we managed to finish P2, and we get driver of the day as well. Some excellent racing with the AI. It could have been a lot more, but we'll certainly take the 18 points.
After a superb win here at Sakir, and rightly so. What a brilliant effort from the whole team. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
Well, a very good Grand Prix. Really enjoyed that. And hopefully you all did too.
And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the Drivers' Table. Valtteri Bottas passes his rival to take over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to the captain. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
It's time to check out the Constructors' Standings. Mercedes move to the top of the table. Meanwhile, AlphaTauri's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
Well, there you have it then. Valtteri Bottas wins the Grand Prix. We finished second with Hamilton in third. Carlos Sainz finishes fourth in the end, 8 seconds back. Daniel Ricciardo finishes fifth. Ocon sixth. Gasly seventh. Danny Kvyat in an impressive 8th. Lando Norris finishes 9th after starting 12th. And Sergio Perez in the McLaren rounds out the top 10. Drivers' standings, Bottas leading the way by 16 points over Lando Norris in second. Lewis Hamilton is in third. Sainz and Ricciardo are joined fourth, and we move up to sixth with today's performance. Constructors' standings, Mercedes take over the lead of the Constructors' title. They're 21 points ahead of us, but it looks like it's going to be an incredible journey and an incredible battle between ourselves and Mercedes going into the next Grand Prix. We've got Vietnam next, and if you've enjoyed this episode, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for more F1 content in the future, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.